We're joined on Insead Knowledge by Ninie Wang, your CEO and founder of Pinetree. When you went back to China after finishing your MBA at Insead, you were looking at a business model whereby you were working with the elderly. But the original business model changed. You were going to be looking at entertainment, teaching them how to use the internet, go online, but then you shifted to a nursing model. Why?
We looked at the needs of the senior citizens, which is a huge group in China today. We have now 170 million people over 60 years of age, and that's about 13% of the population already. And about almost 20% of them are becoming more and more dependent physically and mentally. And these people are the group that have the most urgent need for professional care. And if you look at Chinese healthcare system, most of the hospitals are really more focused on very fast treatment of patients, and then because of the shortage of beds, they will always drive people back home before even removing the stitches. So the elderly who need proper rehabilitation or just need proper long-term care to help them maintain healthier life longer, they don't get anything when they're at home.
And so you're providing nursing care effectively? We
provide the professional care at their own homes.
And before, you did change the business model a bit, because at first you were looking at more the sort of recreational lifestyle issues. Why did you change?
When I went to Insead back in 2003, the idea was really to look at the needs that also brought a market to business, to make business sense. So we thought at that time also the healthcare market was more regulated. So we thought maybe from an edutainment angle it would have been much easier to establish. And then we also saw quite a few successful examples from other countries based on which we developed our business plan. So we did that in China between 2004 and 2006, which turned out to be a very welcome concept, but it's only nice to have for the elderly. And for this generation of the senior citizens in China, anything that is only nice to have is not to be paid for. So they'd rather save all the money for their children and grandchildren. It's very cultural, and also it's coming from their own experience, life experience. So then we took some time to really reflect on what we had learned and what was more urgent need from them. And we saw that in fact the must-have is still health related. So we, for a while we were actually puzzled, is that something we could approach as a private business and as a social entrepreneur without all the government regulation or push in place. So we then took a look at global models of providing long-term care for people aging at home, because we got to understand that in China, more than 98% of the seniors are aging at home, whether they want it or not. And of course, culturally, it's also more preferred for the families and children to know that their parents are not sent away in nursing homes.
In terms of the organization, you're based at the moment in Beijing, but how many members of staff, how many nurses do you have within the organization?
Our services, after 2 years of development, just went live last October. We started with 6 nurses, doing a few hundred of trials in 3 months before the New Year, and the response was just tremendous. And we then from there we started signing contracts after refining the processes and really fine-tuning how the communications were done. For now, we have already 2 different units, service units, from which we dispatch the nurses to the neighborhood so that they can minimize the travel time between each home that they would visit. And the plan is really by the end of this year we will have 300 to 500 nurses serving at least a few thousand different homes. And the idea of this model is really it can first of all require much less capital investment compared to institutional care, and secondly it can be expanded or replicated much more quickly to serve more people at the same time.
And then you would be looking beyond Beijing?
Absolutely. The idea is in 5 years we want to already expand this to a national network of hundreds or even over 1,000 different service units, and having tens of thousands of nurses in the network serving at least 5 million senior citizens in China.
Well, you're a social entrepreneur, but you very much looking at this as a for-profit venture rather than not-for-profit. Why?
I'm a strong believer in the sustainable business model, especially for handling this kind of mega social challenge. We do need charity and not-for-profit organizations to participate in this kind of initiatives, but I saw 2 main problems when I was thinking of how I could help make a difference in this matter. The first problem I saw was that when you look at not-for-profit or charity, you probably don't care as much as businesses as for the customer and employee satisfaction. Because for businesses, you need to really make the customers happy and make sure you can have a high retention of the customers. You can build this in the long run. But for charity, most people just give and then they feel good. So in my mind, that also in the end, the customer experience or the quality of service may also suffer. The second main problem was how big you can build the whole thing. If you do it as a business, whereby you give people a way to make a living or even develop a career, as well as give them a purpose to the work, then you can really attract many, many more people. Essentially, in the end, build an army of the talent to join you. But when you do charity or not-for-profit, there are only such a small pool of people who can contribute their time and their efforts and their energy into initiatives like this. So the impact you may eventually accomplish is also smaller.
Ninie Wang, CEO and founder of Pinetree, thanks for joining us on Insead Knowledge.
Thank you.